Do you think Cathy Engelbert is the right person for the job?
They're probably going to look for a change in leadership. I just think it might be too fractured at this point.
It was announced earlier this morning that the New Orleans Pelicans had finally made the decision to fire head coach Bill Green, a decision that was made 2 years too late. They made the same mistake with Dennis Allen, who, for reasons unknown, was allowed to keep his job after apologizing to the Saints' biggest rival, the Atlanta Falcons. Not to mention the fact that Dennis Allen had clearly lost the locker room 2 years before he was fired. You know, one of the problems when you allow a failed leader to remain in a position of leadership for too long, it can create a toxic culture. And you can make a strong case that there is no culture more toxic than the culture in the WNBA dump. Now, obviously, it's not the diva of dump divas, Cathy Engelbert's fault that the dump is incredibly toxic. This league was toxic decades before Cat was crowned Dump Diva. But the problem for Cathy Engelbert, the reason she will likely be fired, she has proven that she is incapable of building a sustainable culture in the WNBA. She doesn't have the support of the coaches. She damn sure doesn't have the support of the players, doesn't have the support of the media. No one trusts her. No one believes in her. And I think one of the reasons for that is a complete lack of transparency. The WNBA always seems like they're hiding something. They're always polishing the turd. Remember over the summer when ratings for certain WNBA games mysteriously disappeared? We would instantly receive ratings for games involving the Indiana Felines. But when anyone else was playing, the ratings seemed to get lost in the mail. Our courier lost the ratings report, but don't you worry, they were able to successfully deliver the shipment of Just for Men. It's been 5, maybe even 6 weeks now that the WNBA crowned a new champion, AJ Wilson. But my name is Asia.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
As I was saying, AJ Wilson and the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces, they became the inaugural winner of the Platinum Pooper. Throughout the season, I kept hearing these nasty rumors that the WNBA was on the brink of achieving the impossible. The league was sending out smoke signals. We will turn a profit. We will turn a profit. For the first time in 3 decades, the balance sheet wasn't expected to show multi-million-dollar losses. It was going to show a positive influx of Ethiopian breadcrumbs. Or if they were really lucky, the WNBA was going to generate a few pesos in profit. Now, this is very exciting, right? So, how much money did the WNBA make? How much profit was generated by these elite pretend basketball players? I wish I could tell ya. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. So I want to get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at It's Grill 30. One of my favorite things to do to relax is grill. Some dudes find cutting grass to be relaxing. I find the entire process of grilling to be relaxing. If you've ever grilled, you know one of the most critical steps is seasoning the meat. And some of the best seasoning I found on the market is from It's Grill 30. Seasoning from It's Grill 30 is processed in small batches to ensure the highest quality. There are no fillers, and every container is custom made and processed right here in America. My favorite seasoning from It's Grill 30, Make America Grill Again. Other night, I used the Make America Grill Again seasoning on some steaks. I actually did it again last night. It's my wife's favorite seasoning. Only seasoning I use on steaks, and she says it's the best steaks I've ever made. It's Grill 30 is owned by a Marine Corps veteran. As you guys know, Monday was a very special day for current and former Marines. This past Monday was their birthday. They are celebrating 250 years of serving and protecting our country. With Christmas coming up, this would make the perfect stocking stuffer for the men in your family. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL15, BTL15. Get 15% off your first purchase with It's Grill 30. Headline at the New York Post from October 18th, 2024. I want you to remember that date. The final game of the WNBA Finals was played October 20th, 2024. 2 days prior, this was the headline in the New York Post. WNBA will lose $40 million this season as NBA investors growing impatient. 2 days before the season ended, we already knew that the WNBA had broken records by losing $40 million. Several weeks later, it was confirmed that the WNBA had actually overachieved last season. Instead of losing the $40 million that was initially reported, the dump actually ended up losing $50 million. I have been sitting on this video idea for weeks because I wanted to give the WNBA plenty of time to release their financials. They're in the middle of negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement. Cathy Engelbert has spent an inordinate amount of time publicly arguing with WNBA players. They had to prep the Platinum Pooper for its immaculate debut last month. Basically, Cathy Engelbert has been very busy. I'm sure she's been too busy to worry about those pesky financials. This year, the WNBA season ended on October 10th. Now, I'm looking down here at my calendar. Today's November the 15th. They've had, 5 weeks to release their financials? 5 weeks to organize the celebratory Butt Bongo Festival? Outside of unbelievable incompetence and mismanagement, there is absolutely no way the WNBA found a way to lose money this season. With expansion fees, with the hundreds of millions of dollars the league generated for opening new dumps, along with the increased donations from the NBA that the WNBA is calling their TV deal, there is absolutely no way the league was unprofitable. So, why haven't their financials been released? Why isn't the WNBA celebrating their first year of profitability? Why is the WNBA hiding their financials like they hide their ratings? The only reason I can think of, maybe the WNBA is hesitant to release their financials because they're afraid of increased public pressure. During negotiations for a new CBA, fans have sided with WNBA players. Fans are demanding that the league pay the players what they're owed. Of course, what fans fail to realize, if the WNBA followed through on demands to pay players what they're owed, every player in the league, not named Caitlin Clark, would be receiving an invoice. Unless I'm just missing or overlooking something, I cannot think of another reason that the WNBA would not celebrate their success. Unless, of course, they once again found a way to lose money this season. Me personally, I just don't see how that's possible. I am more inclined to believe the financials haven't been released publicly over fear of public pressure. And if that's the reason, I don't blame them. I don't blame Cathy Engelbert for not releasing it. Like I told you guys before, right now, the WNBA is in a lose-lose. The players are demanding multi-million-dollar contracts, and on the surface, you would be led to believe that it's deserved, it's earned. If you look at WNBA ratings and attendance, it's clear the league is growing. But I think there is serious hesitation from team owners. I think there is serious hesitation from the NBA as to whether this growth is sustainable. I want you to think back to this past summer. If I were to ask you, what were the biggest storylines in the WNBA in 2024? Most of you would remember at least one: the overwhelming jealousy of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and the constant claims of mythical racism, fans of the Indiana Felines being accused of fake racism, DJ Carrington poking Caitlin Clark in the eye, Angel Reese celebrating on the sideline as Caitlin Clark was being pushed around on the court. This past season, what were some of the biggest storylines in the WNBA? Outside of All-Star Weekend, when players hijacked the All-Star game to protest, what were the biggest storylines in the league? Can you even name one? It might not be showing in the ratings yet, but there was a noticeable decrease in interest in the WNBA this past season. Well, Casey, that's because Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was injured too. As you know, Angel Reese is a huge star. I'm sure you've noticed that I didn't talk about Angel Reese as much this summer. You want to know why? There was minimal interest. Initially, I thought my audience had lost interest in the WNBA. I have been talking about the WNBA for years now. I was talking about this dump in 2020 and 2021 when everyone else had forgotten the WNBA existed. For some reason, historically, WNBA videos had always generated good views, but this past summer, there was a noticeable decline. Like I said, I initially thought my audience had lost interest, but after talking with other creators, they admitted to the same thing. Someone told me the other day their audience was openly telling them that they were no longer interested in Caitlin Clark. I guarantee you, if I am noticing declining interest, the people investing millions and millions of dollars into this league, they see it too, which is probably why they can't come to an agreement on a new CBA. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.